Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Charles Derrick.
This is J Rob.
And this is Bringing the Noise. Super excited about bringing to you guys something that we have wanted to do for a while. We thought about different ways of doing it, and we got a lot of friends in this business. Me and J Rob both been in the music business for, hell, you've probably been in it longer than I have. So decade
probably
and a half.
About 20 over 20 years for me. About 22 years probably since I've been in bands.
Yeah, I guess it is going on, getting closer to the 20 mark for me too. So, and there was just a part of me that wanted to give back to this business, man, in some kind of a way, because it did a lot for me all those years. And I wanted to give back to this business and maybe give some support to some people and hear their stories, give some support that I wished I would have had, a long time ago, and maybe give some of that to some of these people nowadays,
Yeah, we really just want to shine a spotlight on some of these people that are really, busting their butt and staying busy and, trying to make some headway in the music entertainment scene. So, this will be a regional thing. Anybody we can find that's really trying to get out there, we just want to shine a spotlight on them and let everybody know a little more about them, where they can find them, where they're playing, find their original music online, all that kind of stuff. Find out more about these people and get some more interest going.
Absolutely. And not just musicians. I talked about it. I know a lot of people in the entertainment business that serve some very important parts.
Sure.
And I'd like to get all those type people on, and not just original musicians. When we're talking about musicians, not just original musicians, but people who are doing things, with the big show bands and all this type of stuff. Anybody.
Oh yeah.
This really the name of the show, Bringing the Noise in the music business, entertainment business. I'm gonna say entertainment because that's a lot broader spectrum. In the entertainment business, we were just talking about maybe trying to cover Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Louisiana, because we got a lot of friends that's been doing this and been paying dues and working their tails off for a long time, and some of them just getting going. That's really showing a strong effort. Maybe this can help in some kind of a small way, because we do have a lot of friends and good support system, and maybe some of them can share and let other people know about these people in different areas, and it can help the whole music scene grow a whole lot more broader than just playing in that one town or whatever it is they're doing.
Sure. Yeah. It's definitely not limited to just original bands or just music in general. I mean, this goes for anything from like club owners, venue owners, producers, sound guys, promoters, you name it. Just any and everybody that we can that we've had some kind of connection with, and then hopefully as this grows, the area can expand and the well of people that we know, that rub shoulders with doing this for so long will grow, and have those kind of folks on too.
Absolutely. If you don't know who we are, you'll get to know us, man, because a lot of these people that we have already lined up to interview, I'm sure there'll be some old stories probably thrown around or some things. Yeah. You'll get to where you'll hear some of our background, but it's not about us, man. This is about these people and trying to help them and trying to help the networking as a whole in the entertainment business in all these states. So
yeah, that's right.
So if you're questioning that right off the jump, well, who the hell are these guys? You're going to find out as we go. and you can, check out our stuff wherever, you know what I mean? You can find us online. So
Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm sure things like that, what we got going on, what we've used to do, all that stuff will come up as we talk to all these guys because there's so much history with a lot of these people. So,
correct. And that was the thing for a lot of years, and it gave me a lot in this business. A lot of years I was, so concentrated on myself and my band that it was almost like I put up a wall to everything else. And now it's a great opportunity to be able to, totally, don't have as much of that going on as used to. Well, not necessarily concentrate on my only living like I was. So it's a perfect opportunity to be able to say, all right, all these people that I've always been interested in, man, I want to hear their stories. I want to hear, what they've got going on. How did they get where they got, or, personal stories. How did they deal with this? How did they deal with that? Man, I was always so intrigued with some of my mentors in this business of hearing that. And I was thinking, man, everybody's got a story. Shit, let's bring them together and let's hear this, man. Let's see, and give these people a platform. And if people are shared enough, a lot of people can learn from it.
absolutely. Yeah. And a little bit of an edge to this too is, like you mentioned, being so involved in your own thing, or our own things, whatever it is we're doing for so long. You just don't have time to, you meet these guys networking, through playing this city or that city or whatever through the years, and you never have an opportunity to actually go and see them and learn more about them and see what they're doing because you're so busy out playing and gigging yourself. So, it's going to be pretty cool to get to catch up for us, and dig a little deeper into some of these people and their careers too.
Man, you just said a mouthful right there of being able to, because you are, as a musician, if you're working a lot, you're not able to hardly
can't be
see.
two places at the same time.
No. I mean, you're seeing stuff on social media and everything, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And there was times I'd be able to text or call somebody and in the business that had shows or whatever, and you catch up with them during the week, but it's just real quick here and there. And yeah, I saw pictures that y'all had a great night that night or whatever, but never getting all of the details and some of the things that happened along the way, or not really having time to get in some of those personal conversations that we're going to definitely try to get into with some of these people and their stories,
Right. And
So.
hopefully this will cross breed, if you will, some of the fan bases for a lot of these artists, guys, gals, everybody that's playing, and build up some interest. And it's awesome that when you have fans that'll go see your band and really dedicate it and stuff like that. But same note, it's cool to shed some light on some other things and give something else a little bit of a chance too. You can like more than one band. So, regardless of the style and the genre and stuff like that, let's, get a little more interest going on for everybody. Because look, at the end of the day, we're all in this trying to accomplish the same things more or less in general and get successful and get known and get a fan base going. The more that we can all help each other do that as artists and fan base and everything like that, we're all on the same team. So, hopefully this will get everybody to kind of gel together that way.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest with you, starting to look at some of these people that we've got already lined up to interview and looking at some of their stuff. Hell, I'm already a fan.
Man, I know. And
I'm like, man, I wished I would have took the time. Some of these people coming across my news feed or whatever, I wished I would have took the time to look at some of their stuff because I didn't realize how much I was missing out on until.
That's the thing. You get so busy promoting, your own brand or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's hard to take off a minute and just be normal for better lack of a better term there, and just check out, see what else is out there going on, what your peers is doing and stuff. So yeah, doing a little bit of research on some of these guys we got coming up, and this is supposed to be a lot of fun, you know.
Man, it's going to be fun. I'm super excited about it. I mean, I am freaking stoked, y'all. I'm stoked. And some of the people that's already said they're going to be on this thing, y'all, all I got to say is you better get ready. We're going to have
Yeah,
some really big names. We're going to have some people that's really busting out of the gate. Recently, we got some people that's been in the game 30 plus years that's going to be on here. And we got some names that you know, is going to really raise some eyebrows. And this is going to be fun is all I got to say, y'all. You got to stay tuned. You got to see what's coming. And I think everybody, no matter if you're a musician or not, you fix to learn a lot just with us. And this is going to be incredible. It's going to be a fun ride. And speaking of which, tonight we are going to be interviewing the Ballard Journeay show.
yeah,
And we are super excited about that. And,
been
doing some
jamming their
homework on them
tunes
boys.
past few days, and man, I tell you what, these guys have got it going on. It's
Oh man,
killer
I'm telling
material.
you, that's a new upcoming bunch. Been doing it for a little while. I call them new upcoming. You know, somebody who's been doing it for a few years is still new and upcoming. But
Right.
they are bringing the noise, and we're fixing to jump into them now, y'all.
Hope you enjoy.
Let's do it.
Tossing back my last draft after the next last one. I might take my drunk ass home, or I might have one more and call your home after the next last one.
The Ballard Journeay Show is an upcoming duo-fronted country band based out of Jackson, Mississippi area, influenced by the sounds of the red dirt Texas music scene, the blues of the Mississippi Delta, and the classic outlaw country movement of the 70s and 80s. Lead singers Patrick Ballard and Josh Journeay, both from Greenville, Mississippi, have formed their own sound and beaming chemistry through years of playing in honky-tonks and dive bars together in Mississippi and the tri-state area. With songs rich in tight vocal harmonies, bluesy guitar licks, driving rock and roll beats, and old school storytelling, there is no question that the boys' roots run deep in their heritage. Both Ballard and Journeay grew up in Greenville, eventually becoming roommates in a double-wide trailer outside of Leland, Mississippi, where they began writing and booking local shows together. In late 2016, Patrick would move to Nashville and Josh would move to Oxford, Mississippi, but the boys stayed in touch, still sending song ideas back and forth and making music together. And in 2018, when Josh and Patrick both happened to move back home to Greenville, Mississippi, the idea of the Ballard Journeay Show was sparked, and the boys decided to pursue their dreams together. Now living in Jackson, Mississippi area, they are recording, writing, and booking shows together with even bigger plans for the future. After the release of their debut single, Colorado Kool-Aid, on September 27th, 2019, the Ballard Journeay Show recently released their 5-song EP, Where You From, featuring Colorado Kool-Aid. The live show highlights the impressive talent of the band with a crowd-captivating show comprised of many country classics and red dirt hits, along with original songs, layering the set with authenticity you will only see live at a Ballard Journeay show. With the high energy and smooth transitions of this 4-piece, folks from all over enjoy getting off their seats and on their feet towards the dance floor. And I want to say that it seems to me, as an outsider looking in at these guys over the past couple of years, one is yin to the other one's yang, and the other one's the yin to that one's yang. Great solo artists as well, but together it's magic. I give you the Ballard Journey show. Patrick and Josh, how y'all doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh man, we are great. Feeling real
Glad
good.
to have you guys on, man. It's exciting.
It's good to be here.
Abso-freaking-lutely. We are stoked about this, man. We've been stoked about this podcast for a while. The whole idea of this podcast, but getting started with two guys who are really trying to do something special. And what I mean by that is not many bands are willing to put their balls out there. These guys are bringing balls back, J-Rob. These guys are what we talk about, bringing balls back, baby. They are doing original stuff. And when I mean original stuff, this is what I'm talking about, people. They are doing, look, I saw a set list left on the stage from these guys. No doubt. I saw a set list left on the stage from these guys the day after their show. I walked in a place. I'm not going to say where this place was, but I walked in, I saw the set list sitting on stage, and I was like, hey, what? I don't even know some of these songs. You know, I seen it said Colorado Kool-Aid, and I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. I was like, what are these other songs? You know, who does this? Is new country stuff I don't know, whatever. And the guy working there was like, dude, that's originals. A lot of those songs are originals. They're pounding that stuff, man. And I was like, wow. And staying busy like these guys do, and still trying to do it, and still trying to get recognized, and trying to, I mean, hey, that is, and the shit sounds good. I mean, that's the kicker. And look, I'm not blowing smoke up your tail. I wouldn't tell you if I didn't think it. I mean, we was listening to y'all stuff past couple of days, and we was like, man, this is kicking, dude. You know, and we tried that. You know, it got to where in a lot of venues, you know, we're trying to do. I mean, a few years there in venues trying to do nearly 50% original and all that stuff. Man, that is people that's really trying to, you know, push for a freaking movement, man. That's impressive, and there ain't nothing but respect there from me, you know.
Thank you. It can be really hard, but it is very rewarding.
That means a lot.
Yeah, that means a whole lot, by the way.
That's definitely near and dear to my heart, because that's, you know, well over 90% of anything I've done over the last well over 20 years has all been based in original stuff. So I get also, you know, like I know Derek went down that road too. I get how tough it is just trying to get a gig booked when you're trying to shove originals down people's throat. It's, you know, it's rough. So hats off. That's awesome that you're doing it. Plus you got killer music, you know, it's great material.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Hey, that last one, the new single from these guys, watching that video that you guys sent from Tupelo, I was like, some people, me included, don't sound as good as the studio version. You know what I mean? When I watched that, I was like, dude, it was kicking my tail.
Yeah.
Better than the studio version. I mean, not that it was good, but I'm saying when you do it just as good, if not better, and it's live. I mean, it's like, man, these guys, that's freaking awesome, man. You know,
That's a thing that we've talked about a lot with our live show, is that, I mean, we want the live show to be better than the recorded version, because in this day and age, you know, with streams and stuff, I mean, live shows is where you're really going to make your money. But I mean, I feel like that also comes from just, you know, when you're in the studio, yeah, we're getting down in the studio, drink a few beers. And when I say studio for that song particularly, I mean the living room. We recorded that ourselves. Our drummer recorded that and did all the production.
Oh, wow.
Great job.
So, I mean, we're in a natural setting, though. We're in a comfortable setting, you know, having a few beers in the afternoon. And I think it took me like an hour to finally find out that guitar solo.
We did
that
it on
day.
a Sunday
And
all day.
but you know, it's just different energy when you're playing live. You know, me and Stu are having a good time on stage, and we're enjoying the people that are coming out to see us, and we're just having a good time. So it's a lot more energy to it.
Sure.
So I mean, when we're on stage, that's the main thing. We're having a good time. We're enjoying what we're doing, so we're putting everything into it. We leave it all on stage every night.
Especially on that song.
Yeah.
That's why that song's literally the reason we go to the gym now. It's wearing us out so much, jumping around, singing.
That's good motivation.
I would be wheezing after that song. I'd be over here like, that's why we put it at the end of the step.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what though, that son of a gun's rocking, buddy.
It is.
I
That's
mean-
good motivation too. You know, mentioning the studio versus live thing, you know, you already got a great product from your studio version for people to hear. So, you know, if they come to see you, then you can give them that extra little something different, you know,
Yeah.
a whole different vibe from your live show instead of just putting the CD in the car, you know.
Yeah, that's why we wanted it to be like that. You know, the song itself, yeah, it's a great song. It's worth listening to. And I mean, you can jam out in your truck to it,
Right.
and, you know, or put it in your earphones in the gym and rock out to it. But I mean, the draw is like, you know, if you're going to come out to a live show, you're going to get to like, and then also I feel like that changes that song forever for that person. You know, if they experience it live, I've become fans of so many bands just from seeing them live and not having heard their music before.
Sure.
And then every time I listen to that song that I heard live, I think about how badass it was on stage.
Right.
Exactly.
I remember all those little details from concerts. Like, you know, I saw him play this song, but you know, he extended this solo there, or they improv that thing at the end or whatever, you know, and it sticks with you, you know, from seeing
Yeah.
that.
Killer, man, freaking killer stuff. So do yourself a favor, y'all. If you're checking this out, you like good music, man, and you need to check out that their new single, Next Last One. It is freaking awesome. And you know, take your drunk ass home, you know, get that next last one. Dude, I'm telling you, I was just really digging it. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it. And that's one thing y'all know about me. But I got to know something. So who, you know, and I know me and Josh talked about it on the phone the other day, but explain to the people how y'all came up with I Love BJ's, the whole marketing scheme behind that. Cause I'm a marketing guy. That's what my degree is in. And I was like, man, that is hitting the nail on the head right there. You know, Ballard Journeay show, I Love BJ's, like, dude, that's freaking perfect. You know, how'd that come about?
You can be thinking about, he came up with that. But you said marketing, thanks to those shirts, those have bought us a sound system, trailer, more merch, just because of that shirt keeps selling so quick.
Brilliant.
The shirt, the koozies, that whole design.
It just sells
Brilliant.
itself. But anyway, he came up with it.
It goes back further to when our first name was the Ballard Journeay Shit Show. So then and we can talk about, I don't know if we can get into that later, but the whole I know about our like origin and stuff. So I can save that. But it used to be the Ballard Journeay Shit Show. And then when we decided to change our name to just the Ballard Journeay Show, I think one day I don't know who brought it up. One of us was talking and we were talking about like, well, you know, what if we just use the initials? And then we realized it was BJ's and we were like,
Gold
no,
mine.
you know,
Gold mine.
like, no, we've made a mistake. And we realized it was those initials. And then I finally decided, like, let's go with this design, because we were talking about it again. And I was like, you know, people can't make jokes about us if we make the joke ourselves.
There you go.
If we go ahead and make that joke, nobody's going to joke about it being BJ's. We go ahead and sell that. And plus now I'm really glad we did it because it obviously sells itself, you know?
That is freaking genius, man. It's like,
Yeah, it really was.
It's like a shirt you would go in, you know, somewhere in a tourist town or something and find it in some kind of specialty shop or something, and you know, they stay sold out because it's such a great freaking idea. I'm surprised that ain't already been, you know,
Yeah.
that's kind of like have a nice day kind of shirt, man. That's freaking like epic, perfect. You know,
That was the thing. I think I was looking at one of those I Love New York designs, you know, because that's
Yeah.
like the most famous one. And then I was like, what if we just made this I Heart BJS and we'll just put our band name at the bottom, very small for context. And
Got to put the website on there.
that's free promotion.
Got a logo on the back too.
Nice, man.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. You know, speaking of which, we can maybe tap into that now. Haters. Look, when you guys are as talented as y'all are, I mean, obviously the talent, the haters are going to be fewer and farther in between. But how much of that have you experienced?
I really don't feel it much at all. We do, you know, we talked about it before. We did that songwriter night where we really kind of pushed like up and comers to get out and play and stuff.
Yeah.
And that night's it's become so important to us. I mean, it makes you feel good. That's a selfish way of saying it, but it makes you feel good.
No, that's good.
But I don't know.
We don't do it for those selfish reasons.
Yeah.
We do it because we really care about the music community, and
That's right.
It's just that's our community service, I guess. You know.
Right.
I've seen more love out of you guys and support for the scene, and the Jackson scene is so strong right now. I think, you know, in the 16 whatever years I've been doing this. This Jackson scene to me seems stronger now. I mean, there may have been more bands before, but it seems like it's a lot more stronger community now. And you guys are almost like the poster guys of that going on right now. You know, this whole new movement. I was telling Zach about it. It's like this whole new movement over the past, 2 or 3 years. And it's kind of, taken over, and, out with the old, in with the new, and you guys are, kind of the poster of that. And,
yeah,
it's just strong, man. It's strong, and it's inspiring. And it's actually what we talked about in doing this type stuff. And I told him how great of a time it is right now, just in this scene, in this part of Mississippi right now. Dude, it reminds me, honestly, of what was coming out of Georgia years and years ago when me and J-Rob were together back in the day with the older versions doing, I remember it was Brantley Gilbert and Colt Ford and all of them coming out of Georgia,
I mean, all of them were around the same time.
Jacob Bryant,
Luke Bryan, all of them were in the same time.
What are the figures in Georgia? Something.
Yeah.
I think for that last question, I don't think we ever really feel. I'm gonna say this. I'm sure there are haters, but I don't think we ever really feel that because we focus so much on the love and the positivity, and we're trying to do a good thing with our music and with our career. And I think more so that we focus on all the positive aspects, that we don't really notice the negative aspects. But I am a firm believer that the more haters you have, the more lovers you have, because I think that both grow dynamically.
It's a word.
I think that both grow like together,
Equally,
so, I mean,
yeah.
The more like the saying, if you got haters, you must be doing something right. I don't really dig myself because I don't think that you should focus on the haters, but I do think that they do grow, because I think that, the more love you receive, the more support you have, the bigger a fan base you have, and the more people that you've got behind you, the more that people are going to become jealous, or people are going to, try to tear you down or try to dig in and find something wrong with you.
Yep.
I think there's balance in the support, basically.
Well, there's
Absolutely.
definitely a thing for the the hate. I mean, that's me and Derek's talked about that a lot too. If you've got haters, that means, you know, that comes with success. If you have any kind of level of
Right.
success, there's going to be that. But the approach you're taking with that, man, if you can't never let it bother you or slow you down what you're doing, you stay focused
Yeah.
on the good you're doing, and then you continue that vibe with everybody else you're dealing with, you know. So
Exactly.
that's beautiful to be that way.
We did
Yeah.
have somebody comment one time and say I sounded like a knockoff Lucero, and nothing ever cracked me up more. I laughed.
You got to roll with it, man, because people are going to talk shit, and just you laugh it off, man, because who cares what that guy thinks? I mean,
It's
there's
funny.
nothing to do. Yeah,
I mean, you know,
Get
you
a
got
laugh out
one
of it.
person that's ballsy enough to comment something mean about you, but you've got 1,000 other people that are in your corner that love you.
Sure. And what does that really say about that guy that takes time out of his day to go poke fun at somebody about that anyway? I'm sure he's
Right.
probably not out doing gigs himself, so who gives a shit, you know?
Right.
What I used to do with, you know, when somebody would do that, you know, hating on me, whatever, I just share a picture of the, you know, the huge crowd from that night or whatever, and say, well, you know, thank God,
They
you
had
know,
a good time.
the other 99%, you know.
But they don't share the same sentiment as that guy.
What about, okay, family support? Do you guys have good family support? Because, you know, in this business, especially we're in the center of the Bible Belt. And I know sometimes it's a tender subject with people. It's been effective with me big time in my life. You know, because we come up in a time, and I'm sure it's still that way with a lot of people, you need to get a real job and blah, 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 whatever. Or a woman telling you need to get a real job, you know, or whatever. But do you have y'all got that family support there? You know?
Yeah, I was lucky. Most of my family played music. So like my dad played, well, you know, my brother played. I think I'm the only one that's been doing it consistently and trying and continuing to do it for as long as we have. But I definitely have heard you know, get a real job a million times, but not necessarily from the family. They've hinted at stuff, but then they'll see that I'm doing all right, not hurting super bad. I mean, I ain't rich, but not comfortable either, but I'm close to it.
Rich and happiness.
I'm happy.
Hey,
Are
if
you
you've
happy?
got that support,
That's
awesome.
that's the big question.
Yeah.
J-Rob, he had, you know, family support. I did not. So, I mean, but you know, I want to just hear about you guys. I wanted you to feel comfortable knowing that, though. You're not talking to people that just had all the, you know, look, I don't care how long somebody's been in this business. Everybody's got a story, and sometimes part of that, you know, or some of that story may not be good. So, but hey, we've all got, you know, a story. What about you, Josh?
I didn't always have support from my family. I definitely do now, but I feel like I guess maybe it, and I don't know. Oh, well, they'll be cool, but I don't feel like I always had support from my family. I feel like, you know, early in, my parents, and I've wanted this since I started playing guitar. I mean, I didn't start playing guitar for no damn reason. I started playing guitar to write songs and to be a fucking rock star. So
Great.
Keeping
I've
it real,
thought for 18 years what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it. And if I went back and told my 11-year-old self what I was doing now, he'd probably be like, hell yeah, are you happy? And I'd be like, hell yeah. And then he'd be like, hell yeah. But I don't think
That's
I always
great,
had
man.
support from my family. They were usually like, you know, I've heard the phrase pipe dream enough times in my life to have probably made more money if I had $1 for every time I've heard it. But
Yeah.
it means more that now that we've done something with our career and we've really started the trajectory, and we can see the end of the tunnel. We know where we're going. We know what we're doing. Now they've seen that. And I mean, I've also heard, get a real job all the time. So I guess one day it just finally clicked in my head, the whole get a real job thing. I just decided I'm going to start treating this like a real job. And then we had a talk about it, and we decided to get really serious about it and treat it like a real job, and
It's a real job.
chase it like you would any other career. And everything has been so much more fluid since then. Everything's just flowed and gone the way that we wanted it to. And I'm really thankful for that.
Dude, I was told to get a real job for 16 years. And
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
now,
job for 16 years.
now, like even when I was just playing acoustic gigs, like we would play like 150, 160 shows in a year. And, that's making money. It ain't really
Right.
pushing yourself like we are now, but we were still working musicians, and we were making money and paying rent, paying bills, and never late on anything. He's got a really great credit score. And
You touched on something there about the, treating it like a real job deal. Like that
yeah,
was a lot of the shit that I got when I was younger was, about to get a real job, or at what age are you going to quit pursuing this and kind of give up this pipe dream or whatever. And but
Yes.
it would kind of irk me a lot at the time, but I wasn't really treating it like a real job either. Yeah, that was my case. Doing a little too much partying, a little too much rock starring, and not putting in the work that maybe, I don't know, there may have been some other level or something. I guess everything worked out exactly the way it was supposed to. I'm not complaining, but I wasn't showing it. So I kind of brought a little bit of that stuff on myself, but I was lucky to have a lot of support too from my dad and uncles and people like that, mom. So
Yeah, I had a really interesting, I have interesting conversations with my dad all the time, but the other day something had hit me. My dad was a musician too. And I kind of touch on that in a song that I wrote called Down the Road, which we'll be recording full band again soon. We play it in our live show, but he was in a band too. And we were talking about literally this, about like, chasing the dream and treating it like a job. And he was saying that he told me that he wished he would have treated it the way that I treat it now.
right.
And he said something about being successful. And I just said, in my eyes, I'm already successful. I already believe that we, as a duo, as a band, as musicians, we're already successful. Yeah, we may be at the bottom of our career right now, but that's just where we're starting. We're not afraid of hard work, and we know how much work we'll put in, and we're ready for it. So we know where we're going to end up. So I just kind of, in my head, I live there.
Well, you are successful where you're at. I mean,
I
that's
was
another
just fixing to
thing.
say that.
We're working right now. We're working. We're busy. We've been blessed. We were blessed through the whole pandemic, the shutdown, to be busier than a lot of folks were, and especially everywhere else, like in the nation. We were still grinding and still finding gigs and finding people to play for, even if it was just private parties and stuff.
Find a little hole in the walls.
You're not in Leland,
That's good.
Mississippi in a trailer anymore.
That too.
Well, I mean, you're doing what you
I mean,
want
I'm
to be
just-
doing. You're happy. I mean, and all of us, I've told that before
too.
with guys that I've been in bands with, yeah, we may not have went on world tours and done the dream that was set out on, whatever, but man, at all the gigs and shows and things that we were able to do and still able to do, there's a lot of people that would love to, play half the shows that we have.
Absolutely.
I mean, so everybody's successful to the point. If you're happy and still working, you're a hell of a success.
Well, it's human nature to want more. It's human
Sure.
nature to want to be, if you're a race car driver, to be Dale Earnhardt. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I look at the, you know, this is a crazy analogy, and I've said this a million times. Playing at, excuse me, playing at all these places that you guys are playing at now, and you know, the thing of it is, and you get a special event every once in a while, whatever. It reminds me of, like in a race car driver, it reminds me of the dirt track scene, right? And you got a lot of people at the dirt track scene that are just the local guys, right? Nothing wrong with that. They just do it for fun. They show up, you know, some of them. Then you got the ones that come in there and they make the money when it's the big shows for the money time. They're not Dale Earnhardt. They're not on NASCAR. But when Billy Moyer shows up, or Scott Bloomquist, or some of them, they come in to take the money that night. And they're coming to win the 20 grand, and they're going back to Arkansas or wherever it is they're from. You see what I'm saying? But in their minds, I mean, obviously they could have been, you know, Dale Earnhardt or whatever, right? But they're still very successful at what they did. And a whole bunch of people just wish they could be them. When you guys release that stuff you're releasing online, I know a lot of people in the music business that just wish when they see that kind of stuff show up on Facebook or whatever it is, like, man, I would
Wish
love
I'd
to
have
just
wrote
go in the
that song.
studio. Or yeah.
Wish I could play like that. I wish I could sing like that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, it's why they take NFL teams to St. Jude's Hospital, right? To humble them, to make them remember, look, these people are going to be, you know, this person may be dead in 6 months, right? And they're sitting there smiling. You've got it made, man, and you don't even realize, kind of thing, you know.
Right.
Look, I'm just saying you guys have got it going on. And so that leads me to what I was going to talk about anyways, is what is the Ballard Journey show goals? And I know there's a Josh Journey and there's a Patrick Ballard here, right? Well, right now, let's talk about what are the Ballard Journey show goals moving forward.
There you, yeah.
Well, we have started not setting just, you know, unattainable goals. So, like, for instance, this year's, it's out the window. There's like nothing we can do about this.
Yeah.
But last year, our goal, we made out a list, and one of them was open for 5 nationally touring bands. It was 5 or 6. January and February, we had already opened for 2.
Yeah.
And then March, you know, all that hit, and that goal was then unattainable. But that was a very attainable goal at the time.
It's still pretty
So
badass.
We've tried to just slowly level up the way, like make goals that are completely attainable at the time.
Yeah.
As far as long goals, I mean, me personally, touring the country is pretty much my goal. Being able to tour the country, make a decent living. I don't care about being rich, but I just want to tour, have fun, be comfortable. That's personally my goal. But as far as the Ballard Journey goals, I mean, right now it's kind of hard to make a goal because we can't go out of state to different states and play for the most part. So we're kind of not stuck, but we're confined to, you know, our general area because we're more open than other people. You? Anything?
I think elaborating on what he said, because we're like, me and this fucker are best friends. Like, our goals are aligned always. We pretty much see eye to eye on everything that has to do with our career and the rest of life too. We don't really fight anymore, do we? It's probably because we don't live together now. But
usually when you're close with somebody, you have a lot more disagreements, but you're able to move past them pretty quickly.
We have like pretty funny disagreements on like stage. Like we'll get pissed at each other, but every single time it's because we misunderstand what the other one says.
Always. But no, so like to elaborate on what he's saying, I mean, yeah, definitely we want to tour the nation. I don't care at what level that's at either.
Nah.
I don't care if we're playing, big ass honky tonks, regular honky tonks, theaters, arenas, amphitheaters, whatever. I don't care what level that's at. I do still want to open for a bunch of national acts. I still have that set as a goal, and we're still working on that. But because ultimately, I feel like, just getting in front of a national act, that's how you get in front of a crowd. And I know one thing about Ballard Journey Show that I can say the most confidently ever in my life is that if we get in front of a crowd, they're going to like us.
Absolutely.
That's just, and I'm not being cocky or anything, bad saying that. I just really believe the first time in my life, like with this dude, I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the product that I'm selling to people. Finally, I'm really proud of something and it feels really damn good. But so we're working towards, doing national shows with big guys like that. And I do feel like, last year with the whole shutdown and stuff, it really did force us to kind of look inward, and because we weren't, able to do what we were normally doing. We weren't able to stay as busy. But in not being as busy, you lose that distraction. Like I feel like work can be a distraction from what's really important. So we really did have a lot of time last year to like sit down and really like set long-term goals and think about how we want the rest of our lives to be, the rest of our career to be. And so it really helped us out. It gave us a time to work on something other than the immediate work, the short game, That was a really good thing. And now we know what we want in the long term. And we pretty much know what the steps towards that are. We're just kind of waiting for the government to let us do it.
Well, as bad as that's all been for many, many people, horrible for some.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible thing to have, if you can look on the positive side of, like you just said, and in our case too, with having time to actually think, put a plan together, build something, and be ready for when everything does kick back off, and you can really be full board and be a little bit maybe mentally rested up and prepared to go out and kick ass again.
Yeah. I mean, what does the football team do in the off season? Watch game films, train,
Right.
get ready. I mean, that's what we did in our forced off season last year.
We never got complacent on like social media. We had.
Yeah, we tried to.
We were making sure,
like present,
making sure that we were present and posting stuff.
Sure.
Just as much as possible.
Keeping those fingers worked out, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, there was people were in their houses, or people were, staying pretty much confined. So there was kind of a spike on social media for sure. So we were like,
right.
We can't play live shows right now, so we can hit social media because that's where people are at right now. And we love people. We want to be around people. We want to,
got to stay relevant. Keep your name in front of them all the time.
Yeah, that was the way to do it.
And look, when I opened up the podcast, I said, one is yin to the other one's yang, but look, this makes me want to go backwards. Let's go into the past a little bit here. So, Patrick, you went to Nashville in 2016, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience? Because I've heard a lot of people's stories about going there. I mean, we played there one time at the Wild Horse, and back in the day, and but I've never went there and tried to make it or something. You know what I mean? And I've heard how unforgiving from a lot of people it is, and how there's a lot, a lot of talent there that just is oozing it, But my question is, because I know that could probably be a whole podcast in itself, but my question is, you went to Nashville in 2016, that experience in a nutshell, and what made you say, all right, well, let's go back and to my buddy that I was living in the trailer with and that we had such chemistry with, and let's try to go see what we can get going and maybe reattack it from a different angle.
I'll start at the end of it. I didn't leave there like just on my own terms for the most part. I had some things come up and had to leave. But I'm so thankful that I did. And I'm more proud of the music I'm making now. I felt like back then, I do feel like I played a whole lot of writers rounds with a bunch of people, very, very talented people. But I felt, we don't play much of any country music that comes out of Nashville. And I felt like I was being drawn into like that style a little bit. And I'm more proud of what I'm doing now. I like the music I make now. I like what I write better. But as far as the experience, it was a great one. I really loved it there. The food was incredible.
Otaku.
Yeah, there's a ramen place, my favorite place in the world to eat. I get drunk and send Josh pictures of their Instagram posts.
Well, we just got back from there. What was it, a month ago or so?
Yeah, about a month. Yeah.
Otaku ramen in the Gulch, incredible. But anyway, it was great. I had a really good experience. Met a whole lot of people. I learned that I didn't have to be there to be successful, because then later on, you determine your own success. We've already touched on that. I didn't know that at that point, but I did find out while I was there that I don't have to be in this town playing for nothing all the time. Like, I used to drive up to Lexington, Kentucky to go make money because I had a bar up there that actually paid money for people to play there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was a great experience. I'm really glad. I'm glad things worked out the way they did.
I had a terrible time when you were in Nashville. I cried.
So, all right. Well, okay. So, what made you want to come back and join with Josh, and what sparked all that? What?
Well, a living situation kind of got pretty messed up to where I basically had to go. It just fell through. But I also had gotten engaged at that same time to high school sweetheart. So we from the same town. So came back home, and we were doing, long distance at that time. Came back home, and we got married, and me and Josh started playing we had always played together. We had never called it anything, but we started playing pretty much instantly as soon as I came back from Nashville. And I was driving down to Jackson like every weekend. We were playing acoustic shows. And that's kind of all it was. Then we decided, wasn't I like your booking agent for a while? You were.
I think so. I remember this. I'm gonna jump on your story for a second. So when he moved back down here, I had been down here in Mississippi the whole time he was working his ass off in Nashville. I've been down here gathering gigs, gathering contacts. And so when he came back down here, he was like, I need work or whatever. And I was like, I'll be your booking agent, dude.
He booked a lot of shows for me. Kept me going.
Yeah, I bought him a calendar that had Thor on it, and I started booking him, gigs, and I would text him pictures of where he was playing and stuff. And then we just were like, dude, let's just start playing together. Like all these contacts that I had, I was just like, I'll just start selling them a duo instead because I'd rather play with you. We have fun together. We'll make money, and let's do that.
And he was in the middle of
It worked out really
he was
well.
in the middle of a solo record. And actually our
Yeah.
first record was my solo record. But then we started the band kind of at the same time.
Right.
That's why I sing on all 5 songs. We started the band kind of at the same time. And it got to the point where we got done with the record and we were like, I mean, it was our band that played on it. And we were just like, we cannot not market this as Ballard Journey Show. Like, we can't do this because then it's going to be so difficult to market it.
Because we were starting to book gigs then as a full band. We were starting to book so many gigs, and we were like, I mean, how weird is this going to be if we're at a live show and we're on stage with Ballard Journey Show banners up and we're promoting ourselves as Ballard Journey Show, and then he's over here on his mic saying, y'all go check out my album. And I'm over here on my mic saying, y'all go check out my album. Wouldn't make sense. So then we just went ahead with the duo product. It just made sense.
Yeah, that was a smart move.
At one point, we had actually talked about having a split stage. You remember that? We talked about getting a Patrick Ballard banner on
Oh
my
my
side.
God,
and
yeah,
Josh
yeah,
Journey
yeah.
went on yours.
We were,
And like
I remember
sharing a band. That's
Like each one of you, like somebody, and then featuring the other guys, and the next night you feature the other guy.
I think we were talking about having like his name on his side of the stage and my name on my side of the stage, and we're both solo artists, but we share a band. Like we
Dude,
kind of like that was an
share
idea.
custody of a bass player and drummer. I don't know how.
that could be. Look, I don't know if
It's like,
anybody's ever done that. I mean, like the guy. Oh man! And as soon as he gets done with the song, you could be like, "All right, enough of that asshole. Back to me."
It could have been funny, but it made no sense.
Yeah, it
Well,
was
it's
great.
killer. It's killer for the bass player and the drummer because they get to double up every night.
Thank
Yeah.
God you're not that.
It was a
Dude,
real-
that would be awesome, man. I
be
think everybody
hilarious.
want to go see that, man.
It'd
Oh,
be
it'd be
like a
hilarious.
comedy
You
show.
could make it, yeah, and you could do like comedy and stuff, like, but hate each other, and like you stay on your side of the tape on the center of the stage. You know,
Yeah. Just get like some like hot pink duct tape and split the stage every
Yep.
night.
yep.
Make sure you cut that guy's mic off before I start.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't do that in their case, though, man. The harmonies is look, that's the thing, and that's what makes y'all sound really good together, man. Is those harmonies? I mean, to me, that was something I never had a whole lot of back in the day, man. I was up there Hank Jr. But
Ever-
you get,
Well, ever since growing up, I remember watching Carlson Dixon and Rivals, and that's when I just that's when harmonies became super important to me after listening to them back in the day.
you got that right. Yeah.
I've always thought about harmonies ever since, and just tried to always be good at them.
Dude, yeah, I mean, it means the world. It really does. And it's like,
Pickens up everything.
yeah, and staying true to that harmony note, and hearing that third, or that fifth or whatever it is, man, that's some alien stuff, dude. That's talent,
I think in high school, that was just my way of challenging myself vocally, was like singing along with whatever on the radio and trying to find the harmony and make it not sound like shit to me. And then I guess that's just I think that was just like my practice way of just practicing singing, I guess.
That was your lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's incredible, and it's tight, and it's, that's what made Alabama. I mean, you can name a lot of these groups too, Black
The
Hawk and
Eagles.
whoever that Brooks and Dunn, and
The Eagles'
Diamond
first
Rio.
album, man,
Dude,
they
some
were
of Dix's harmonies, like my thing is low harmonies. I mean, I can hit high harmonies, but the lows are the the harder one to pick out. So a lot of times I like to take a low harmony to challenge myself. And Kix Brooks was one of the baddest motherfuckers on that. Like in Brooks and Dunn, you always had all these layers of harmonies, but you can definitely make out Ronnie's voice as the lead and Kix's voice as the lower harmony on the ones where Ronnie was singing lead. But some of the stuff he was doing was like so intricate, and it really made the song that much more interesting, you know?
When it's so tight that you can't even hear the harmony, you know, me and J-Rob was talking about that the other day, like on Tear My Beer on Hank Williams Jr., you know, when he sang with his dad in the late 80s, you know, and it was something we was looking at, you know, with the Dukes and all this. The thing is, that harmony is so tight in there of him doing it. And I think they mixed it a little lower too. But I mean, when it's so tight that you can't hear it good and you have to really, 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 really listen, I mean, that right there is when it's right. And that's when it's
Well,
on
and
the
it
money.
sounds great like that, but it's good when it's mixed that tight. But if it wasn't there, it'd be a huge drop off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it really makes it because it's there.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I don't really feel like you're supposed to hear them unless you're focusing on that exact person, like
Right.
watching them and like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's what it's for. It's the background noise that makes everything stand out.
Yeah, you're
Make
creating
vocals
one
work.
sound.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We just kind of, whenever we're singing together, whatever harmony we're hitting, we're really just trying to build the other one up, trying to make.
Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Look, I got to say this. And when I first met, and I can't remember when I met Josh, I don't know. Was that Burnham Road show with the Mississippi 3, or was it at
Specs.
or was it somewhere else?
Probably Spectator.
I probably
Okay.
would have.
Well, I remember meeting Patrick. I don't know if it's the first time I met him or second, but I remember him being at Spectators at one of our shows a long, long time ago. And he had on this leather jacket. Imagine him without the beard and everything. And like he had this leather jacket and he's just hanging around. And, you know, he told me who he was, you know, and I was like, this guy's just hanging around being cool and like he's not gonna do shit. That's what I was thinking. I was like, he's not gonna do anything, you know. And you know, then you know, popping back up on the scene all of a sudden, you know, and then here's this guy all of a sudden showing up and y'all doing this thing, and I'm like, he did try, he really did, you know. He was telling me that night, and I remember it, that he was going to do this, he was going to do this, he was going to do that, you know. And I just thought it was another dude talking all that stuff, you know, and sure enough, here he pops up, man. And you know, I was like, you know, yeah, made him on the
You encounter that all the time too. Like you hear from so many different people.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't know. Everybody, you just hear so many different stories from so many different people.
Right.
It's funny when somebody pops up back in your life 5 or 6 years later and you remember like that.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It makes it funny, man.
Well, yeah, because there's a heavy percentage of people that's just talking whatever. And, you know, there's always them people that say they can do this for you or they can do that. And then there's always these musicians that say they're this or they're that, or they're going to do this and going to do that. And, you know, I just chalked it up as being one of those. And it's just funny. Here we are talking about, you know, we want these guys on here to be, you know, the first podcast on bringing the noise to entertainment and making it, you know, be alive today, you know.
I really appreciate that. I'm going to put that on our band like credentials. Charles Derrick, he ain't going to do shit.
Yeah. Back in what? 2010.
Please.
Evidently, that young man with the leather jacket was dedicated. He wasn't full of shit.
It was awesome, dude. I was thinking about that today.
What was that quote? When we were making our website, there's a page on our website that has like quotes or references or whatever, and we used a couple good ones, but there was one that was like that we just thought was funny to put on there.
I don't remember. I don't. I remember it being funny, but that's all I remember.
I think somebody basically just told us, "You guys sound okay," And we thought it would be the funniest shit ever to put "They Sound Okay," quote, whoever said it,
No,
on the website.
I think it was actually a review of the album or something.
It might
I don't know. It was funny though.
It was
A
funny.
good
You can
reference.
just for the record.
Do you guys have any references? Yeah, this one guy here.
He said we were all right.
This one guy said we were all right. And this was like when we made our website, we were pretty new.
I can't believe you read the whole bio off the website. And,
I forgot how well it was written.
Forgot that.
I
Yeah.
knew you would. I knew you would forget about it because I've done the same thing, before.
I didn't know you were even going to read that. That was a really good bio, whoever wrote that.
It's still pretty closely accurate. Like we've kind of moved on to where, quite honestly, we don't really call ourselves a country band anymore because we do throw in so much rock, and we've always been like, call yourself what you are. So we kind of just stick with the red dirt. Like we're just red dirt Mississippi band.
I jammed on you guys' music for the last few days, man. And I grew up playing Southern rock and ZZ Top, Skinner, how I learned how to play guitar. And you guys are straight up Southern rock blues to me. I mean, blues rock, whatever. It's definitely, I mean, it's got if it's any kind of country to it, it's got that old school rough edge country to it, to me.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't ever want them polished.
yeah. I'm not much on genres anyway, though. I mean, let somebody be who they are. There's no point in being boxed into some certain thing.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I share that same sentiment. 'Cause I mean, shit, sometimes between both of us, I mean, we've written really country songs, like, stuff that
Colorado.
hell, probably Waylon Jennings could have recorded and wouldn't have been off brand for him. And then we've also written really heavy shit that, wouldn't fall under the country genre, I guess.
Well, I mean, if you're writing true, man, and really writing from the heart and what you're feeling, you don't feel the same every day. I mean, and you don't feel the same as you did 5 years ago. So it's gonna be different. It's just gonna be different,
Exactly.
It killed me to hear, I guess a lot of people, but got some friends, and it just, they bag on Metallica because they sold out or whatever and don't write the same music as they did on the first few albums. And like, they're not 18 years old anymore. They're not the same people. You can't write, you can't write the same. It's just not if you're really doing it from in here. It's just, you're different.
They were angry on that first album.
Sure.
They weren't angry 5 albums later because they had a lot of money.
No, I mean, it's a whole different ballgame. There's different motivations for writing. I mean, you got different thoughts in your head. You got different feelings about things.
If they were that angry 5 albums later with all that money, I would be like, how are you so mad?
Yeah,
exactly.
What's wrong with all that?
For not growing.
Right. Yeah. You got to grow.
I love seeing growth in a musician. First albums are definitely usually my favorites. For any band that I'm a huge fan of, first albums are usually my favorites. But every now and then you do see like a third or fourth album that comes out and you're just like, damn, like, I'm so happy that you grew into this person.
Right.
For a lot of people, that second one gets me every time.
Yeah, that's true too.
Because they might have a little bit more money, be doing the productions a little bit better.
But
they're still true to, they're probably still using songs that could have been on the first record.
Yeah, maybe that. And then, your songwriting process is, I think, probably, if you're really into it anyway, that you're bound to learn little nuances to polish up this or that, or or leave something a little more raw, whatever it is. You kind of know how to go about it a little bit better.
That's what's cool about being a duo. Between like me and him, we have like 60 finished songs written.
Oh, that's so wonderful. 3
albums from now, you're going to be hearing shit that I wrote when I was 17.
Hey, that's great though, man. That's great.
Still, no, I mean, we're not going to quit writing. We're going to keep writing, but we have just this surplus of songs to reach into and be like, does this fit this album? Yeah, sure, throw it on there. We'll record this motherfucker, you know?
Well, and then having old ones like that too to pull out of your pocket, you know, you can always still, as in the recording process, something come to you and like, well, hey, what if I had this little twist to this or that, you know? You still got,
Rewrite it.
it don't have to be concrete, you know?
I love the recording process.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful, dude, to get in there and tinker with, okay, what amp am I going to tune on today? Which guitar, what kind of pickups, what,
multiple amps.
what mood am I in to scream or sing real pretty, you know?
You cracking up at how poor I am.
He said you have multiple amps.
Well, yeah, I've had multiple amps over the years. I usually had to sell an amp. If I wanted something different, I had to sell the amp I had to get that different amp.
I can't do that. I have one.
I feel that.
I got a couple of pretty cool amps now. One of them's too big to lug around. I'm getting old now, so I can't be hauling that Marshall half stack around like I used to. Zach Dickerson, my buddy and bandmate, talked me into getting one of those head rushes. And let me tell you, that was a awesome investment, man. It's got so many options. And finally, I used to be really against solid state stuff, digital processors and all that stuff, but those things have come a long way, man. They actually sound and feel like real amps now.
Yeah, we played a show with Zach a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I saw some clips of that. That was
on the whim. They called us at 5:30 in the afternoon and said, hey, we need 2 guitar players and a bass player. And Zach played bass.
It was our friend Wesley Walker. Like, I mean, and they're badass band too. Really up and comers.
We knew none of the songs.
He just, we knew we knew some of them. We half-assed knew them. But yeah, he needed a bass player and 2 guitarists. And I was like, well, me and Patrick are off. And he was like, I think Zach Dickerson is going to play bass. And I was like, bet. So I text Zach and he was like, hey, can you write me some charts for some of these songs? And I was like, all right, sure. We had like 5 hours to prepare. And I'm over here like chewing one hand's fingernails while I'm writing out the parts. Like, gotta hope Zach doesn't get here right now. Hold on.
Isn't it awesome though when something like that gets thrown together and you go and then you kind of halfway nail one or more or whatever. I watched some clips, man. Y'all were killing it on that.
It came together so well.
It pulled together like the whole night. I was like, I can't believe this is going so well.
That's awesome.
I mean, I can with the talented people that were on stage, but like
players you had, yeah, sure.
Yeah. You don't expect to throw something together at 5 o'clock and go on stage at 10:30 and kill the whole night.
Well, you don't have time to think about it, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have time to get in your own way. Just go do what you do, you know.
That's true.
He says some really smart shit. You don't have time to get your own way.
I've done a lot of dumb stuff before and didn't know how to articulate some of the smart things. So I'm hoping the older I get, the more wise I can get and pass it on, maybe.
That's why I got him on here. Say the smart stuff.
I like that.
You drink beer?
I'm drinking sweet tea. I probably drank enough beer and liquor to do 4 or 5 men for a lifetime. So I don't get on the sauce too much these days. Just every once in a while.
Yeah, we'll get you a
sweet tea and hang out.
All right. I might dive off in a little of that Colorado Kool-Aid with you guys. We can get to hang out.
Or the wife made some chicken spaghetti and we were in there just like scarfing some down.
So you definitely got the wife's support. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hey, I have it too, dude. That's great to have.
Makes good chicken spaghetti.
And we just put J-Rob's wife in our band, so it's all working out.
I didn't know y'all were married, or I didn't know.
Well, we actually just got married on November 29th. So
really,
yeah. So
okay, congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks. it's pretty cool. Pretty cool deal having your wife in the band.
I
Different.
bet.
So who you got there with you? I know they're gonna know who all's in the house now.
Yeah, I got a buddy, an out of town guy. Y'all might know. I'll let him sit down and have a chat with y'all right quick.
Yeah.
He said out of town.
What up?
Can't hear. That sounds like Zach though. Wait, y'all froze. Is that me or y'all?
Are they froze on y'all's end? He's good on my end.
You're
Just a
good
little
now.
bit.
I think Charles is just really good at holding his face in one position.
Okay, let them talk. Who is it? I still it hadn't switched over yet.
Really? Yeah, you don't see Zach?
No. But
What?
now I know who it is.
It's okay. What up, boys? Good to see y'all again.
Dude, it's good to not see you but hear you. Isn't
I
there
know.
something where I can see participants?
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, you have to like maybe on a phone scroll over or something or
Oh, there it is. Got you.
We got you now.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? How you
What's
doing?
up? I'm good. I'm good. I was visiting in town. I'm actually headed to Nashville to look at some apartments right now, and I hit up J Rob and visiting with him. So I hopped on this podcast. So thank y'all for having me.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yep, we're excited, man. But so how's everything been going with the podcast? What y'all been talking about?
Everything.
everything.
Everything
You
music.
got good
what you talking
questions.
about?
Most of it.
That mic to your right, Zach, is what it's. Yeah, we can hear you a lot better there. Yeah, that's what he's using. Yeah,
We'll do
there you go.
that. No.
Get in there.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, we got you now.
Look,
Now,
you-
dude, we've covered everything from A to freaking Z. I mean, literally. Like, well, no, you know what? We haven't went all the way back to the beginning yet, and I'd be interested to hear this, and Zach probably would too. Mentors, Patrick, Josh, how did you learn to play? How did you learn to play? And give me more than just YouTube on learning.
We can start with you. Me? Well, 20 years ago. Oh shit. No. I think I started playing when I was like 11 years old. So about 18 years. How old am I? 28? About 17 years ago. I don't know. Actually, you know what? Interesting fact. I started playing guitar because one of my best friends, Tyler Key, growing up, was starting to learn to play guitar from his dad, Buddy Key. And I don't know if you know that name, Charles, but
Sounds familiar. I mean, I'm trying to place it. I'm horrible with names, though.
he used to be involved with the Cracker Jacks
Uh-huh.
back in the day. And Mr.
Delta
Buddy,
famous.
Mr. Buddy was like the first one to really like kind of like start teaching me stuff on guitar because they had an acoustic guitar at his house, and I just 11 years old, used to spend the night at my buddy's house, and they would teach me stuff that he was learning. Tyler would teach me what he was learning. His dad would come in there and show us, chords and stuff. And at the time, my uncle, Kevin Willis, was actually teaching me to play keyboard. And I don't know. I guess I didn't really like dig keyboard. I'll just be honest with you. I eventually just kind of finally told my uncle that I wanted to learn to play guitar because I was going to pull more leg that way.
That's usually how it is.
And
Yeah.
yeah, at 11 years old, that's what I was concerned about. And yeah, next thing I know, he found me just a cheap ass Yamaha guitar, acoustic, and I just started reading some of these chord books that I had, and just kind of started learning chords and scales and junk like that, and pretty much was self-taught from then on. But yeah, Mr. Buddy and my uncle Kevin were like the main two that that got me into playing guitar and playing music in general.
Hmm.
Mr. Bud tell us some crazy ass stories about the Cracker Jacks back in the day.
Dude, yeah, I remember that name when we first got going back in like 04, 05. And, you know, if they were anywhere around, especially Delta or, you know, just about anywhere throughout Mississippi, I mean, you were screwed if you were in.
I bet.
Yeah. So, yeah, for people who do not know who this is Zach Dickerson, who we will
Hello.
have on the show at a later time on down the road. World famous Zach Dickerson.
Not even famous.
We thought we'd shock the Ballard Journeay boys with Zach. They know Zach very well. He's very prominent in the Jackson scene as well. So,
Well, crazy enough, I actually went to college with these guys.
really, was that all same time? Okay.
So Patrick and I had a introduction to multimedia class in 2015 when we first met, and he was playing with a Truck Pack Revival. Sorry if I can actually say the name right, but he was playing with them. But that was before I really knew who Patrick was, and then I vaguely knew who Josh was at the time. But I knew Patrick more.
Got there.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But you guys were still rooming at the time, I think.
Yeah, I dropped out after you got there.
Okay. But I mean, I went to college with them. No, it's cool.
Dropped out because
You were there.
Oh, guys, not even. But yeah, I met Patrick later on. We had some small connections. We never like really met, but I knew he was living in Nashville at the time when I was doing an internship, and we still kind of like kept in connection. And then he moved back to Mississippi around that time. I think after I.
Okay, y'all were in Nashville at the same time.
Well, the thing was, we never like really got to like meet because we were just on two different paths at the time. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried to start a duo with Zach, but he said no.
Yeah, he wouldn't let me do it.
Damn, it's a small world, though. I mean,
Yeah.
small world. Yeah.
And the craziest thing, like that little like that's like superstar night. We have never have like thought to like ever like be all on the same stage. You've always like seen each other like play with other bands and stuff, but never in like any time would I ever expect us all to be on the same stage playing in a band. And it was like probably one of the hypest nights I've had in a while.
Yeah.
he definitely doesn't want to join the band.
What's that?
Dude, we could tell from the video that was really good night for all of y'all, man. Just getting up there and jamming and having a good time with it. You're talking about the deal at Pops. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could all tell.
Zach got to see what it was like to play a strat like down here where you're supposed to.
I don't know if it's supposed to. If you're playing Nickelback songs, I think so. And usually they play Les Pauls.
Man.
But no. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if you're gonna be a guitarist, so you gotta wear it low.
It's wherever you're comfortable. Your dad cracked me up though when and like I can totally tell that's not Zach's guitar.
Yeah. He'd be the first one. No, but it was fun, dude. I enjoyed it. They're a lot of fun to play with. I love those guys. Love y'all more than anything. But y'all are very talented, and it was a pleasure to be on the same stage with y'all.
Hey, we love you too, man. We had a damn good time that night too.
Sure did.
Dude, it was so fun. It was the oddest night. And then I was over there. So funny thing is, I called or text Josh because I took on like an acoustic gig that was totally last minute, and then the drummer from the band, Blake Carroll, contacted me. He was wanting me to play guitar, and then there was like a mix-up because I think like Wesley contacted Josh and Patrick to play guitar, and then I thought I was playing guitar, and then I was like, well, they were like, well, can you play bass? And I was like, I'm not gonna know any of these songs. I was like texting Josh. I was like, man, I'm not gonna know any of these songs. Can you please help a brother out and like chart like some of these songs out and give me some numbers? He's like, yeah, I got you, man. He did a stellar job. And I got there, and I just kind of like coerced with Josh most of the time when it came down to like playing songs. And songs I knew I was good, but like Josh really helped me out on that, no doubt.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. So I owe him twofold on that. So next time he sits in, I'll make sure to have all the charts for you.
I trust you read them. I know you read those things a lot better than I can.
Oh no, not at all, dude. I love like how you construct them. You did them exactly like anybody would, you know, if you were writing charts. And it's crazy that which is not like hating any musician out there, you know, but I mean, like it's like probably one of the quickest, like easiest way to like communicate with if you know your notes and stuff, is the easiest way to like really communicate with a band member. Yeah.
That's
But no,
funny. I'm such an ear musician that I'm more so if I'm on stage and I'm in a setting that I've never been in or playing with people I've never been in, I more so look at other people and like listen to what I'm doing. But I'm able to write those charts really well. But I don't think I could sit there with a chart in front of me and like read it because I'm so ADD. I wouldn't be able to sit there and do that. But I knew you can. You're like smart as shit. So
I don't know about smart. I guess read okay. I guess I don't know. But no, I appreciate it, man. I really do.
boy, read's good.
I read well. But yeah, Derek, if you want to go ahead.
Dude, yeah, this is
I-
good. I'm letting
I-
y'all roll, man.
No, I didn't want to
I'm-
intrude, you know.
Rob's house tonight.
No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. I mean, because at this point we've covered everything that I was wanting to cover, except for one major question. Because now we're getting in a lot more of the
Patrick's account.
Oh yeah, you didn't ask like how Patrick came up.
Yeah, the mentor thing.
You never once paid for drugs.
Not once.
Not
I don't.
Wait, what was the question again? Because I forgot about that.
yeah mentors. If you how'd you learn how to play, and then
Okay.
if there was any mentors besides
Oh.
self-effort and self-taught YouTube stuff.
Yeah, as far as like just basic chords, I actually don't really remember learning because my dad always played. He taught me, and I don't really remember that, but I remember it's like soon after that, I used to go to our computer and print out like different chords that he didn't teach me, and like have printed chords, and then I'd print out the a song or something that I wanted to learn. But then as far as the first time I ever got into doing more than just playing rhythm, John Andy Bowen that used to play with my brother, real great guy, great musician. He showed me some scales and came back just like every time I'd see him, he'd have like something new for me, like just show me something on guitar, or have like sheets of ways to learn things. So he was one of the major helps with playing guitar.
And he's from around there, right? I mean, he was from the Cleveland or something. Yeah.
Played.
What's one of the chords? Didn't your dad teach you how to play a B7?
Yes, you call it crab claw.
Yeah, crab claw. You called it crab claw.
That was you. You're the one who keeps doing it. You did it like last week. You said crab claw, and I was like, "What does that mean?" I was like, "Oh yeah."
I've never heard that term. That's cool though.
Yeah, B7. Yeah, that B7. It looks like that. Looks like crab
Stacks
claw.
on top. Yeah. That's cool. I've never heard that. I'm gonna do that next time. We'll say, y'all know that crab claw chord?
Zach probably knows more crab claw chords though.
No, man. I know some chords, but not crab claw chords.
That's
Is
tough.
that the chords you just put the capo on for rhythm?
That's the one. Call them cowboy chords.
So what's the story? What's the story behind Colorado Kool-Aid?
Oh,
There we go.
sorry, it was a low battery alert. I got 20% though. We should be good.
Beer.
Colorado Kool-Aid happened when I was living in Nashville. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but I have my like record player and all my records back there. And my dad and my brother used to play a song called Colorado Kool-Aid by Johnny Paycheck.
Uh-huh.
And I was I have that record and I was listening to it. And I was shit faced and I wrote it like in 10 minutes. It's just, dumb drinking song, but it's become
If you're ever drinking with Mexicans and you get a little too tough, better make sure you got your knife-proof earmuffs.
it's become, kind of the it was our first single, but it's the most anthem sounding song, I guess, that we have. I don't know. It's easy to sing along to and it gets in your head. And
that next last one got in my head, man. That
next one, I'm real proud of that one. I really like that. Funny story about that is you tell this story.
Usually our songs about beer seem to do really well.
Yeah. You tell them.
Oh, dude.
Next last one.
That song, hilarious story. We played first gig that we had in 2020. We played in Tupelo at the Blue Canoe, and one of our really good friends who's also from Greenville and lives in, I think, Pontotoc now, but in the Tupelo area, he came out and saw us at Blue Canoe, and it was just me and him playing acoustic on like a Tuesday night. And we had literally a lineup of gigs all that first week. So we were trying to be responsible. And he comes out and sees us, and we're just, we're giddy to see our friend from back home, and we're hanging out with him and catching up and stuff. And we keep thinking like we're done with the show. This is also like after we're done playing. So now we're on our time and we're just drinking beer with him. And he kept saying, "No, man, y'all stay for one more." And Patrick would be like, "Nah, that was my last one." And then he would buy us around and put it in front of us and say, "No, this is your next last one." And one time he said, "This is your next last one." He put a beer in front of Patrick, and I looked at him and was like, "Dude, write that down because that's hitting me a type of way." And then he wrote it down in his notes, and like that week, just wrote a song.
Nice.
And then it happened, and I was like, and he sent me like the recording on a voice memo of what he had come up with on the guitar and stuff, and I was like, dude, that's a banger,
Mm-hmm.
It was weird when I wrote it too. I thought it was going to be like too swingy and not as heavy as I kind of was thinking.
Yeah, the acoustic way you did it was more like country.
Yeah, the first time we played it with the band, I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah, we introduced the electric guitars into it and all the drums and stuff, and it became like bigger than he expected, bigger than I expected.
But we've been, guys, this has been awesome. I mean, it's been really, really good so far.
It's been fun.
I've really enjoyed this too. Like, and we didn't expect like such tall compliments earlier. Thank you still for that.
Dude, yeah, you have to set the precedent, man. You have to get it.
Didn't expect that at all.
It's all about you guys and all about, letting y'all tell y'all story up to this point and making it, really what it is. And and I tried to set that groundwork there. By God, if they don't know who you are, they fixing to know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, we're the Ballard Journey Show. We show appreciation where appreciation is due, and you had a badass gig.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. I really do, man.
You had a badass gig, and it is.
I wished I had half the talent that is what's on this call right now. Honestly, half the talent of each individual.
We're all talented.
All talented.
Well, let me put it like this.
It inspired us. We used to me and him used to be 21, definitely 21, and we used to go to the bar in Greenville and go watch your band all the time.
Well,
And I mean, at that age, at 21 years old, we weren't formed as musicians. We didn't know what we wanted out of life. We didn't really have goals set yet. So we used to go and watch. We used to go to Spectators every Friday and Saturday, and we would watch whatever bands on the stage. We used to go to On the Rocks and watch the bands, and just whatever town in the Delta, and we would go and we've always been fans of live music. We've always been fans of getting drunk, and we've always been fans of seeing people do what we want to do. The only thing that I dislike about how busy we are now, and I love how busy we are now, is that I don't get to see that anymore. I don't get to do what I did when I was a younger man. When I was younger in my 20s, we used to go get drunk after our, restaurant acoustic gig, and we'd go out to Spectators after playing 6 to 9 at like Cowpen or somewhere, and then we'd go get shit-faced and watch. We'd watch Trademark. We'd go see Splendid Chaos. We'd go see Chad Wesley Band back in the day, Jason Miller, and we would just sit there as young men in awe of what you guys were doing on the stage and be like, God, I can't wait to do that. And I'm not gonna like cry or anything, but like now when we're on stage and we're doing it, every now and then sometimes I think back at that and I'm like thankful as hell that guys like you were doing it back then, because you inspired us to do it, to chase it.
Oh, man, I appreciate that.
I really like what you're doing. I'll wear my Dickerson country shirt tonight.
I love you.
I just didn't know if you'd like that or not. I was like this close.
Hold on, say that again.
I said I was like this close to wearing my Dickerson country shirt tonight.
Dude, I wished I would have had a I Love BJ shirt I'd have been wearing. I swear I was thinking about it earlier today.
Need a trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trade one.
I sure would have. That's what I really want to do, is have whoever shirts and wearing them when.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
So as much as y'all have respect for me, and what all I did, in the past, whatever, guys, look, that you don't realize I'm sitting back watching now and seeing what's going on with the scene now, and wishing that maybe my priorities would have been a little bit different when I really was getting going, and then all those years leading up to where I finally figured out, okay, now I need to start looking at this and that and whatever, so
I think it's really easy to look back on things and say you would do them differently, though. I mean, y'all were a one of a kind show. Like, there really was no one else, to my knowledge, doing that we go and see, and they put on that big of a show in a smaller venue that you would never see that many lights, TVs, playing the fucking videos. It's cool shit.
Yep. I tell you what, though, watching y'all and those harmonies, and I've told you this before, y'all having those tight harmonies and stuff, that was something I never really had. And I wished I would have had that, man, because I think it would have made me a lot more disciplined, about doing things right. But, kind of always had that Hank Williams Jr. mentality, though, when I went out there and was like, hey, I'm just, going to be the vocalist, and but we're going to put on a show. And we fixing to just, hammer down with them or whatever. And, it didn't necessarily mean you had to hold that key and be in key for that whole, length of time and make it be just real pretty. Whereas now that's actually what I'm trying to do and thinking. And also, okay, 50-50 in that was show, okay, let me give and take here. Let's make it sound as pretty as possible. Take people back, to this time. And I actually started doing that a lot in the later years, of TM. And, with the Dukes now, it's, let's make it sound as pretty as possible. Let's make these harmonies sound really tight, really good. And then let's give it to the dance. And when it's time to dance,
Dude, honestly, that for us, that helps us out so much. I feel like, well, I don't know about you, but for me, I enjoy playing guitar more than I enjoy singing. And it helps me out personally a lot more whenever we're singing a song that just he's taking the lead on. He's singing the song, So he's the voice, and I just come in and sing harmonies where they're appropriate or necessary, and then I get to be a guitarist. It helps me out a lot being able to split the vocal load of the show, because it's hard to sing for 4 hours. I mean, I don't know. It's not hard if you like take care of yourself and drink water, but fuck that's that.
We don't.
But like, I mean, I know on my Facebook Live brand, I'm supposed to say drink water and love yourself and love everybody else, but like, I love myself and I love everybody else, but I don't drink enough water. That's why I tell people to drink water, because I don't think that I personally drink enough water. So it's really nice having the vocal load split.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Like you're able to keep your energy more, you know?
Also, we're able to focus on guitar and not have to worry about singing, and
Yeah.
we can get better at that. Because that's very, very fucking hard if you're singing and trying to play it.
My God,
You're stuck on one or the other. Are you gonna try to sound like do something different singing? Or are you trying to do something different playing guitar? Then that guitar might stumble you on singing. It's so much easier with me and him together.
and since we've been playing full band and playing with electric guitars, like you, at least from my perspective, you have grown so much as a guitarist, because I know from an outside perspective, you just get to see it. And we've been so used to playing acoustic that, you know, there's not so much you can do on acoustic.
Tell you, it's really difficult going back to acoustic and having to hold a rhythm, because I'm used to one strum and that's good. You just keep it. I get so messed up on songs that we play in the band. When we're playing acoustic.
Or playing lead on acoustic too.
Yeah.
Your fingers hurt.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. With all right, we're not even going to say it's internet, right? So internet's been out since, 99 or whatever, 98 or whatever. It was really, starting to get going. But so ever since social media and YouTube has set the bar really, really high, right? For musicians, and especially live. And, it's got to sound good on phones now because everybody's recording and blah, blah, blah. Do you think the appreciation is still there for the art as much as it used to be? All right. So pre-COVID, let's just don't even go, because now people obviously are starting to miss going out, and they're wanting to, a lot of people just want to go out everywhere.
Right.
So pre-COVID, do you think that was starting to take an effect of people not just not getting to where they were appreciating the art as much as they used to, or were they just saying, you know what, I'm getting enjoyed here at the house, so I don't have to go to somewhere to go see them,
My personal opinion on this is the way this band has worked and the way the crowds have perceived us and how they've interacted with us. I think it completely depends on the venue and what the venue does when you're not there. Like, so therefore, if that venue's known as a dance club, they're waiting to dance. They're waiting for set break. They're not there for you at all. If there is a cover charge, if it is an original venue, they're playing music during your set breaks that go along with what you play, or playing, more down low type music. They are definitely more appreciative. Now, the crowds might not be as great, but they're there for you. And that makes us feel better, of course. But as far as appreciation goes, I don't really think that people, I don't know. I was also, I wasn't playing these venues 10 years ago. But
He's saying you're old, Charles.
no.
Yeah, we are.
No, I'd go to these venues, and I used to watch my brother's band Back 40 play, and yes, it always seemed like the crowds were into them. But that may have been me as a younger guy, me just focused on what they were doing and just so excited to be there. But I think it really depends on the venue, as much as people appreciate you or not.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about, but that is true. I won't name venue names, but we all know those venues that are there where people know that it's going to be the dance place after, you know, a band or whatever. Like we're just going to dance or to the hip hop stuff or whatever. And then there's those places where it's, you know, hell, there's even some at the other extreme where it's just all about original music, or there may be a venue where it's, you know, all about the bands in particular, whether it's cover bands or original bands, you know, and they know they're coming for that when they go to that venue, you know.
Exactly.
So that's a good point.
We've been blessed to find a few new venues like that that we just thoroughly enjoy playing at.
Yeah.
You have anything to add on that one? Yep, here you go.
I have in like 10 years of going out really regularly. Damn, dude. I'm a bar person. But for 10 years of going out, yeah, I've noticed the crowd dwindle and become complacent with what live music means. And I mean that objectively, because I've never, just like he said, like I've always been excited to go and see a band. If there's a band playing, I don't give a fuck who's there. I'm not going there for the people in the crowd. I'm going there for the people on the stage. I want to go see that band. I'm going to see that band. If my friends don't want to come with me, all right, I'll catch up with you somewhere else. But like,
Your friends.
well,
You're different. You're different from a lot of people because a lot of people are followers.
Usually,
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Well, you got some music lovers that share that and are going just to see the band, and either whether they love the music or just want to see a live performance or whatever. But also with you saying that about yourself, and the same goes for all of us, when you're a musician, you know, you're at the concert and standing there like a stick and just staring, and somebody's like, you're not having fun, you're not dancing. We're like, I'm having a blast, I'm focused in on what's going on up here, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be jumping around. I'm here to see this and take all that in, you know.
yeah.
But that's
Usually, maybe it does come from, huh?
well, that's just the musician part, you know, just being
Yeah,
into music so much.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it does come from being a musician. Maybe just me being a musician and understanding from both perspectives, from the crowd perspective and from the stage perspective. I want to go and support the people that are on stage. If I'm not working myself, I want to go out.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I mean, it's not like an alcoholic thing. Like I want to go to the bar and just get shit faced. I just want to go see my friends who are working right now that I'm not working. So I feel almost obligated to go and support them on the occasion that I get to. So, and also, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a popular bar, it doesn't matter where it is. My friends are playing somewhere, or if a band that I respect or that I just am a fan of and I like them, I'm going to go see them. I don't care who's there. I don't care if there's, you know, if it's like 50 people there or if there's 1,000 people there. I'm going to go and I'm going to try to get as close as I can to the stage, and I'm going to try to hype them up. You know, if there's nobody there, I'm going to be the first one out on the dance floor acting the ass, jumping around, dancing with whatever they're doing, because it doesn't matter to me. Like if you play dance music or if you play what's popular, it matters to me if people like what you play. And if I like what you play, I'm pretty sure people like what you play, because if one person likes it, 50 people like it.
Yeah.
Or 500.
Well, when y'all were talking about you know, sitting there taking it all in and going, and if you're the only person there or whatever, you know, I always used to scan the crowd, you know, and you could scan the crowd and you could see people having a great time and whatever, you know, and then you stop and you're like, musician,
Yeah. You know,
He
those
always
guys
standing there. And he's looking at us like, musician. Yeah.
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 You feel
I'm
like
talking
you're
about
getting judged.
you can stand there and you can scan. Huh?
You feel like you're getting judged and dissected.
Yeah. See, and I mean, that's another stigma that I'm personally trying to get rid of. I've seen the memes and I've seen the posts about like people are like, when you're playing with your band and you scan the crowd and you find the musician in the corner judging you. I don't want to be that musician in the corner judging you. I want to be that musician that's front and center in the middle of the dance floor, jamming out and hyping you up. I want to be that musician that's out there that's your cheerleader. I don't
Hey, the
want
reason
to
for this podcast.
be judging you, thinking in my head, saying I'm better than them, or I could play that song better, or any of that. I want to be over here enjoying what you're doing.
That goes back to you can learn from literally anyone.
Yeah, it's true.
A complete beginner noodling around a guitar center, and they might do something different than you've ever heard. You'll be like, oh, that's different. And you can learn something from absolutely anybody.
Yep. Different styles and genres.
Where you're at in life, where you're at in your career, none of that matters. You can learn from whoever is there.
Absolutely. And that goes for other genres and styles too, man. I mean, live music's live music. It can be something, totally off the wall from some other country or something like that. And you could feel that vibe and get off on it.
Or you could be that guy that's like, he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I can't hear you when you're whispering and they're playing that loud. Yeah, dude. Some people just get off on downing, or whatever, or I think maybe it makes them feel better about themselves, right? But I mean, I'm with you on that, dude. If you're gonna pay, you're gonna go in and see another band. Shoot, try to have a good time with them. Try to, try to get something out of it, man, and try to feel it. Try to get your money's worth.
Yeah. Well, we both realized in the last year, it doesn't make us feel better about ourselves to down anybody. It makes us feel better about ourselves to build other people up. There's no feeling like that. There's no talking shit about somebody. It doesn't make you feel good.
Doesn't make you look good. Doesn't make you
look good. Doesn't make you feel good.
Yeah.
But I mean, building people up and supporting everybody else and being in your friend's corner. Well, making a friend on the first hand and then being in that friend's corner, that makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Because
you know what though, on that. Oh, go ahead. You go ahead and finish. I'm sorry, Josh. I started talking.
I'd say the last few.
I said because we're each other's best friends and we're in each other's corner. Yep. And if you cloned us, we would have a whole square.
Now, okay, on that note, though, if you need to always warn your friend about maybe somebody in this business that doesn't have your best interest at heart, or who is somebody that is trying to hurt you behind your, you know what I mean? It's all right. Look, I look at a band as like a marriage almost, right? And to where, a marriage, you and your wife, you go behind closed doors and you make sure that your partner knows about you always want to talk about the positive, right? You always want to, build the person up, but you also want to warn them about warnings and people that to stay the hell away from. And you better watch this person, right? Because they may not have their shit in order or whatever. It's the same way in this business too. And and some people don't know how to take realism like that, but you got to help your band mates just like they would be your family inside your own house, kind of thing of like, hey, I'm letting you know about this. I'm not getting off on talk about these people, but you better watch this right here, because we got a united front when we step out there and we see these people, and we need to know all warning signs, kind of thing, right? That but I mean, that's the realist side of me, after all these years. I mean, I've seen people that just tried to get the rocks off talking about folks and all that kind of stuff. But I also believe in the tough love side of things too, of, protect your own too, and let them know of any kind of, warning signs, or maybe, let me think of something like a booking agent that maybe doesn't have best interests in heart, or something like that. I call them roaches in the business. You got to watch them sometimes, but anyways, sorry. I started preaching.
What? No, you good. I feel him on that. That's
Oh,
all I'm saying.
yeah. Completely under agree. Completely understand. No. Yeah, I feel, especially if you're like close to the person, but I feel like you do have an obligation. You got to at least say something. You're not talking shit. You're not trying to talk bad about this person. You're saying, hey, I care about you. You should watch out for this. And I think you have an obligation to do that.
Absolutely.
I think you can still have both people's best interests at heart, because I mean, like, I'm a positive thinker and shit, but I think you can still have both people's best interests at heart. Like, obviously you got your bro or your best friend or your, girlfriend, whatever, that you're looking out for. And you're telling them as a warning, honestly, like, this person's going through some shit. Obviously they're not right. They're talking mean stuff or whatever. So watch out for that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're not talking bad about the person you're warning them about. You're just being realistic. They're not okay now, and that's not an okay person for you to confide in, basically.
Mm-hmm. Keep it, dude. That's it. You just hit the nail on the head. That, being real, because real ain't always pretty. And, but one thing I can tell you that, the people here that is on this Zoom call, you guys are all about positivity and all about building people up, and people can change too. Even those people that I have warned, band members about or whatever, people can change, but that don't mean that they will, but
I agree with that. But if not a big but I agree with that. But I gotta see it for myself type person.
Yeah.
So it comes down to it, like you can tell me you've changed, or other people can tell me you've changed, unless you like actually given an effort to change, then I don't believe it at that point. But
the same way.
I do absolutely. Yeah, everybody can change. You can always change. There's always that prospect, but you also have to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And for some weird reason in the world and the way the universe is, those people they usually have chances to redeem themselves. And, sometimes you go down that same road again and cross over them, them same bridges again. Hence me and J Rob. We could go into all of that, but we're not.
Yeah, there's no need. That's water under the bridge.
Yeah.
The stuff that we dealt with in the past, it don't matter no more. We're here.
I like that.
We had a chance to, show where we were in life at this point, and cross back over those same bridges again. And man, the puzzle pieces just fit right. And sometimes it's timing with people, man. Sometimes I go back to Hank Jr. and Leonard Skinner on tour. Well, Leonard Skinner said, they've been on tour with him many times, and it was all depending on what was going on in Hank Jr.'s life at that time, right? Somebody was like, man, I went up to his tour bus and, tried to get an autograph before he got on it, and he cussed me out and hit my, pen and my, notebook out of my hand or whatever. Right. Well, Skinner was like, he's going through a divorce, right? That tour. He was going through a divorce and he was hell on wheels that tour, and then we went on tour with him again. And it was like the best thing. He was like on cloud nine and was just like the happiest person on the face of the earth and whatever, Sometimes it's when you cross paths with people. Sometimes it's what's going on in their life or whatever. And sometimes they just don't have their shit together.
I think it was probably just the timing of the things going on in life. I mean, it's like, especially on the you and I thing. I mean, we got along swimmingly just as good as we do now back then, and had a ball, had a blast. But certain ways we had and ways we were living and stuff like that, just
Yep.
both of us made a lot of changes for the positive, and it was a blessing to get back together and be what we got, do the things we got going on now,
Absolutely.
and be closer than ever. Sorry.
Dude, everybody's allowed to have bad days. Hell, you're allowed to have bad few months. You're allowed to have a bad few years, man. However long your process of dealing with something takes, that's okay. You're allowed to do that. Take as much fucking time as you need to deal with something. And I mean,
Well, that was the problem. We wasn't dealing with the issues that we had.
We weren't necessarily facing those things head on. Kind of.
no, I'm talking about Hank.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was the one. Yeah, that was the one thing. Ours, it was the intake and the indulging and whatever,
living it up.
Yeah.
Or so we thought. That's really.
Sure.
Oh man, I said, as this podcast has went on, these guys have brought it back on us, and I'm feeling like we're talking about some of our journey, and I'm like, no, let's get it back on them.
Well, it's just a conversation.
Ask us, what is something you were scared to ask us?
That one. Do the scared one. Do the one you're scared of.
I tried to do that. That was the whole family support and the haters and all that. Because I thought that would hit a nerve. I thought that would hit a good nerve kind of thing.
Yeah, you thought. Do that, not that one. Do one that you're scared of.
What about J-Rob? You got any?
Nothing that I can think
of. J-Rob seems pretty woke. He seems pretty
oh God, I don't know how I feel about that.
You said
I hate that word.
I don't like the word either, but I don't know what another word that means that word.
I get where you're coming from, and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, that J-Rob seems aware. He hates the word woke, so you seem very aware.
Yeah, I knew you were
coming from. You don't,
it's all good. It's all good. I can't think of anything that I was like scared to ask you guys. I mean, y'all both seem like pretty sensible dudes, and give off a really positive vibe. So I would assume I could probably ask you guys anything and probably wouldn't be offended by it.
Yeah.
No, we don't get offended by anything. We really don't.
Like, what do you, either one of y'all, what do you think would be something that fuck with us?
Hold on, something that what?
What do you think would be something that would fuck with us? Something. What kind of question can you come up with that you would think would, I don't know, just mess with us in like any way?
Okay, I got one. Are you guys trying to be the next Florida Georgia Line?
Fuck no.
Okay, when I said get offended by stuff.
Turnpike record wars.
Actually though, like seriously though,
The whole Turnpike
on the whole.
Play me a song, you made me want to roll my window down.
Blow my brains out.
On the whole Red Dirt thing, hell, the reason we play the music that we do, like the covers that we do, because pretty much most of our set list is almost like 40-60 originals
versus Red Dirt
versus a couple like there's a Luke Combs or song or two in
Couple
there,
more popular
and
songs,
more
yeah.
popular songs. But my favorite Red Dirt band was always Cross Canadian Ragweed,
And mine was always Turnpike Troubadours.
and those styles are mixed within, like, you can listen to my guitar tone. It's a whole lot darker. It's a little more distorted, like just a little more driven.
And mine's more like, mine's more just that typical Strat country tone, like that tinny, trebly, wow, wow, twangy stuff,
And they mixed really well on stage.
Yeah, they wind up going together EQ wise. I mean, he's got the dark low down here on this end, and I've got the high pingy twangy up on this end, and it winds up coming together and flattens out the EQ. Winds up being a pretty sound to your ears.
Yeah, that was something I had thought about asking you guys and never really got to it, about some influence stuff. So being that you mentioned those two bands and kind of being the basis of the tone there, that makes a lot of sense. I can hear that in it for sure.
Ragweed was a lot more rock and roll, and Turnpike was a lot more traditional. And so, I mean,
That's how we write too.
Yeah, that being our favorite bands, like that's how we both write too. Like he writes, kind of a little bit more on the heavy side. I write a little bit more on the traditional country side, and they just the styles wind up coming together too. It's really awesome whenever we write songs together, because I mean we do still. I mean, you write a song and send it to me, and I'll be like, "That's amazing." And then when we record it, I'll put my flavor on it, and then I'll write a song and send it to you, and be like, "Hell yeah!" And then when we wind up putting it together though to release and stuff, like it winds up being the Ballard Journeay show sound.
And
That's what I was going to ask is like, how do you guys normally go about the writing process to do the collaborative thing? I mean, one of you guys already have a piece of something to send, or do y'all like just sit in the room together and bang something out from scratch?
That's normally how it happens. Normally it's sent, because most of the time when we come up with it, it's late at night. We'll come up with something to send the other one. And we have one song that we've played a few times that
we literally don't know all the words.
We don't know all the words because he wrote half. And we don't have all the words in the same spot.
We need to practice that song.
And it's actually a really good song. It's gonna be on, like, as soon as we get to recording again, it's gonna be on the second first record, really.
Awesome.
Sorry, low battery, but it's gonna be on the first record, because we released the EP, so this will be the first full record. That's our plans. And doing a full album next.
Does that son bitch even have a name? Damn.
I don't even know what it's named, but yeah, we don't even know the whole song.
Sent me the first verse and chorus, and then I wound up writing a second verse to it, but the second verse, the context changes the chorus too. So I wrote like the second verse and a chorus. And so we literally, if we ever play that song live right now for the time being, because we haven't written it down in one place on one piece of paper, we're both looking at our phones the whole song, because I've got the verse that I wrote and he's got the verse he wrote.
I got you. Well, I mean, that's cool though that it kind of let some of that stuff grow on the live stage before you get in the studio too. That's the band I had years ago. We done mostly all originals, and we'd write a song, in a few minutes and jam it at multiple shows before we'd even think about turning on the recorder, and it would grow into something totally different than what it was when we wrote it.
That's the song off our first EP, Where You From, has changed so much in our live show. But I mean, it's rocking, it's going, it's driving, but it has changed so much from the record. Yeah. And I think we had a steel player on that song on the record.
Now when I listen to Where You From on the album, like I don't listen to Us like a lot. Also, I'm not like that, but
I'll listen to it because I forget what it sounds like sometimes.
but yeah, but the times when I've like gone back or it's just like randomly come up in my playlist or something and I listen to it, I feel like we're covering our own song now because we do it so different.
And that was before we ever played a full band show.
So cool, you know.
I'm pretty sure.
So much heavier now.
Yeah.
Right. That's awesome, man.
And also that song has become kind of, I mean, that's our number one song as far as streaming and stuff goes. That's actually the top one, which if I had to pick a favorite one on that first record, I think that probably be it.
But see, I think about that now and I think like, damn, dude, like I love the way we do it now. I want everybody to hear that, but I don't want to re-record this song. So what do I want to do? I want to fucking sell out Billy Bob's 2 nights in a row, and I want to record a live album at Billy Bob's.
There you go.
And I want that live version to be the one that everybody hears.
That's a big
Because
goal, Billy Bob's.
That's a struggle with
the
originals,
version
man.
I can give everybody is a live version.
Yeah, that's what you should do is even recording stuff. You know, it's hard to leave something alone. Like just let that song be what it is, and yeah, catch that one on a live album down the road, or you know, let that be something special for people to see when you're on stage.
So we're laughing because every time somebody says down the road, that's that song he wrote about kind of his life story.
Oh yeah, okay.
Every time we hear the words down the road, I don't know why.
I'm digging it, y'all. I'm digging it, man. And I could go all night long, but we're gonna have to wrap it up because we got to go to work tomorrow.
You're good, dude. That's a whole six pack during this podcast.
Dude, this has been so much fun. I mean, so much fun.
Oh, man, it has been.
And I appreciate y'all so much. And just to let everybody know, to make the plug on this, I mean, ballardjourneyshow.com. And that Journey is Journeay. It's BALLARDJOURNEAYSHOW.com. Ballard Journey Show. And on Facebook, you can find them at facebook.com/Ballard Journey Show.
Zach's under us at the same time, pointing down every time I look at him.
Oh yeah.
We definitely gonna get them Dickerson boys on here too at some point on down the road.
Sure,
Get
man.
him back in here because he didn't get a chance to say bye earlier when we got cut off.
We got a bunch of really prominent names coming up with interviews, and I'm so glad that we got our feet wet with these very, very talented up and comers and killing the scene right now around central Mississippi. I'd say a lot of Mississippi now. They're doing a lot of Mississippi. So, and check out that new single, Next Last One. It is legit, and that's something I can promise you.
Yeah, look up the Ballard Journey Show on YouTube also, and subscribe. Hit the notifications on there too for them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Pornhub soon.
What is the YouTube site username?
Just Ballard Journey Show.
Same.
Ballard, or you mean like the Gmail?
The YouTube. Yeah. What's your tag on YouTube? The username. Is it same? Oh, it's the Ballard Journey Show.
Yep. The Ballard Journey Show.
Gotcha. Yeah. And that's no bull, man. It's great stuff. It ain't just, somebody trying to put out some original stuff that ain't, really all that good. It's really, really banging stuff and sing along, and it gets stuck in your damn head like it did me for the past couple of days. So,
Man, thank you. Let's do this again and just talk shit for a couple hours.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Let's come up with something. Let's talk.
Yes.
heck yeah. I'd totally be down for it, man. I'd totally be
Yeah.
down for it. I've enjoyed it.
Talk like random funny shit. We'll just come up with questions for you. We'll get
Okay.
you.
Well, see,
Crazy
that's the
question.
beauty of
Comedy
this.
show.
Yeah, that's the, and they're going to have to do a podcast, but that's the beauty of this is to be able to just, find an excuse to all of us to get to talk and share some stories and for people to find out more about people in the scene that they hear about, right? No matter where they are. And y'all, hey, we're all, not just y'all, but we're all going to find out about a lot of these people in some of these other states and what they're doing too. And it's going to raise some eyebrows. It's going to be like, oh my God, dude, heck yeah. And the more we can get people to share all this stuff, man, the more damage we can do and trying to level out the egos and all that stuff that maybe hurts different scenes a little bit. And let's share some of this talent and get everybody working in a lot of different towns instead of just, their own little nooks,
Leveling out everybody's ego is going to be the way that you bring everybody's selves together. That's going to be the way that you bring everybody together in a supportive way.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business. And there is a lot of competition there. There's a lot of competition with business. But guess what? That's where you step up your game and bring your best you that you can. And there's going to be enough for everybody. And you won't be just playing in the same 4 to 6 spots. You'll be going to a lot of different cities. I love y'all, man. And I appreciate everybody on this call, dude. I'm telling y'all, I appreciate y'all so much.
I love you, Charles, and you, Zach, and you, Jeremy, and not you. Fuck you.
Hey, love you boys.
Love
Appreciate
you.
the hell out of y'all.
Man, thank y'all.
Keep kicking ass.
You daggone right. We're going to touch back base with them. Y'all have a good one.
Y'all too.
Peace out.
Bye.
Love you so much.